Memphis Go-Getters, it's 2017. We're kicking off season 2 with episode 22 with Colby Midget of Primere Flowers.
Money will not create success. Just because you got money, that doesn't make you successful.
Okay.
The freedom to make it will.
Want to be successful in business? Listen to Memphis Success, the voice of Memphis entrepreneurs. Be prepared to be challenged and inspired to dream big and take immediate action now.
Memphis Go-Getters, welcome to Memphis Success, the voice of Memphis entrepreneurs, where your success is Memphis Success. Hello, I'm your host, Darnell Reed, and I interview local entrepreneurs right here in the Mid-South to share their story, to challenge and to inspire you to pursue your dreams. And today I am thrilled to have Miss Colby Midget. She is a rising business owner of Primere Flowers, a professional florist in the Memphis area, and she's been in the industry over 8 years now. She's a graduate of Tresvant High School, home of the Mighty Bears, and the University of Memphis. Being 2 years in business, she's already received notable recognition, such as being voted amongst the top 10 to watch by the Greater Memphis Chambers. Also, Primere Flowers was nominated for the Commercial Appeals Memphis Most Best in Florist category. She has also been awarded a recipient of the Tri-State Defender 2016 Women of Excellence Award, and now she can say she has been a featured guest on Memphis Success. How are you doing, Miss Midget?
Great. Thank you. Thank you for having me. Doing wonderful.
Awesome. Well, I'm so pleased and thankful that you joined our show. We're sitting here in your lovely facility. We're having the fresh aroma of the flowers.
You can smell them.
Yeah, we can smell them. So, you know, I do really appreciate that you're on this show just to share some of your wisdom and experience as an entrepreneur right here in Memphis. So I always like to kick off our show with this first question. Since you are a Memphian, you know, normally what is the first thing that just comes to your mind when you think about Memphis and entrepreneurship?
Hard work. Grit and grind.
Grit and grind.
Grit and grind. We go hard. I've met a lot of different entrepreneurs, and we all have one thing in common, and that's work hard. You have to work hard at what you do.
Well, yeah, I definitely understand that you definitely have to put in the work to make it a reality. And definitely in Memphis, we about the grit and grind and what we do. So, you know, I just gave a real brief introduction about you, but when you're out in the city networking and people ask you, what do you do? How do you normally break it down to them?
Just very blunt. They ask me, what do I do? And I just say I'm a florist.
Oh, okay.
I am a floral designer. I have a flower shop, locally owned, and that's pretty much it. I can create any bouquet. So it's just very blunt, simple, and to the point.
Okay, cool. And so, you know, everyone has a beginning, an origin. So if you can, just take us back when you really decide just to kind of take that leap of faith and be an entrepreneur. So before, you know, you started the florist industry in your business here, were you doing something else? And then just what made you transition into, you know, becoming an entrepreneur?
At the time, I was working a regular full-time job, 8 to 4:30, 9 to 5, whatever, you know, the hours were. And one day, I just got tired of poor management, senior management, coming in and changing up the department. It was like a consistent thing. Every 3 years or so, we would get a new director or a new manager, and then they would, you know, the leadership, team leadership changed, and every year or two, they would replace people, replace the current managers or supervisors over the department with incompetent people that were even more incompetent, had less education, less experience. And so I just got to a point where I was fed up. I knew my worth. I'm very educated. I'm a hard worker. I go hard at whatever I do, whether it's mopping, sweeping, cooking, designing. And I just felt like I just was not fulfilling.
So did you always have something inside of you that said, look?
Well, this is not my first time being self-employed. I was a realtor years ago, and before the market, the big bank bailout and the market went bad, I was really good at it. And then when all that happened, and post 9/11, it got worse. So I had to go back to work. And then once you go back to a regular job, you kind of get complacent, and it's okay for a while, and for you to take time to do things that you may need to catch up on, or right. I really don't know, but during that period, I was employed, and then one day I just said, it was a very stressful job too. I'm sure that had a lot to do with it. It was very stressful. The pay was good, pay was decent.
Right.
Benefits were great. I built up a nice portfolio, but it's just I didn't want to help build someone else's empire for the rest of my life. Right.
They always say, would you either building your dream or help somebody else building theirs, right?
Right.
So what was it that, so it was just kind of that breaking point of just the change in management. You already had experience being out on your own.
Right.
And you just said, hey, I'm going to go out here and try it again.
Well, I just got to a place where I was just like, there's got to be more than this. I had a new baby. And I just got to a point where one day I I went to work and I just said, this is it. Not that I had a plan though.
Okay.
I just did not up and quit. I talked with, my child's father, who was, a very strong point in my life, and we talked about it. I spoke with my family, my friends, people who I thought was close, and they all came back to the same conclusion: you don't know until you try. So I mapped out a plan. I took a leave of absence from my job.
Okay.
I didn't just up and quit, my number one bread and butter. So I took a leave of absence, and I tried it, and then 1-800-Flowers reached out to me, and they asked me if I would just give them a try.
So I guess, how did that even happen?
My aunt, I have my aunt, her and her husband, my uncle, who is or was back in the 90s, not known to me back then, that he was the most successful black businessman in the country.
Oh, wow.
So I spoke with my aunt as I was doing flowers, just doing them here and there. I did like a trial run during Valentine's Day weekend, and she told me, she said, you've got to take pictures of everything and start your website. And so
I will say you got a very nice website.
Thank you.
Definitely looks great.
Thank you. That's not my first website.
Okay.
So I built my own website. I didn't pay anybody. I sat down and took the time. I stayed up late hours.
All right, I'm going to have to get some notes from you then.
Stayed up late hours building a website, and I just took photos of everything that I did, each and everything. And I took classes, and I watched videos, and I reached out to others that I knew was in the industry to see how they can help me. And it just went from there, and so.
Okay, so if you mind, let's just go back just one tinge. So you took a leave of absence, from your job. So what inspired you to then just do the florist or become a florist?
I loved what I was doing.
Oh, okay. So you were already kind of doing this on the side?
I was.
Oh, okay.
I loved what I was doing, and of course, you want to make money.
Mm-hmm.
You want to see what the potential is, the profit potential, and it actually was paying me more than.
Wow.
But was it scary? Yes, because it was going too good, too quick, too fast.
And so that's how, what's it called, FTD?
FTD.
That's when they reached out to you?
1-800-Flowers.
Oh, 1-800-Flowers.
Were the first ones to reach out to me. And so my sales rep at the time asked me if I would just give them a try being a florist under their network.
Mm-hmm.
And they set me up and everything, and it just went from there. And then after that, Flower Shop Network. And then after that, FTD. And then after that, it just kept going and going.
So for my audience that are listening to it, they may not understand, how those networks work. I'm assuming, so correct me if I'm wrong. When I go to 1-800-Flowers and I order some flowers, they're really connecting to different florists in the locations?
Right. They're sending the order out to different florists that's under their umbrella, under their network in the city. But if I shall just, give you a pointer or two.
Yes.
Shop local.
Okay.
Shop local. You get more bang for your buck.
You hear that, Memphis go-getters? Shop local.
Shop local. I didn't say go to Kroger's, but shop local.
Or
Call
Sam's.
a local florist. You get more bang for your buck. And just, you want to keep the money in your community.
Right.
Because the wire servicers, or as we call them, order gatherers, we do all the work. They don't do anything. They just wire us the order, and they take credit for most, well, I won't say 100% of the credit, but they get a cut of what we do. So we have to work really hard to really see a profit.
And I guess you got to use their boxes and...
You don't have to.
Oh, okay.
But there is a certain we have to follow guidelines, florist guidelines, which if you're a shop owner, you should follow. You should have your own set of guidelines anyway.
Right. That
you follow. But yeah, shop local. It keeps the money in your community, in your city, and it helps build relationships, and you get more bang for your buck.
Awesome. Yeah, I definitely agree. Memphis go-getters. If we want Memphis to grow, and we need to support our local business owners, just like Primere Flowers right here. So let me ask you this. You were saying you started in your house or in the garage or wherever doing the flowers. How were you able to now transition to the location that you're at right now? Oh,
it was difficult. It was hard. I knew I wanted to branch out. But it was scary. So the driver who started out with me, my courier, she lives in Arizona, so she's no longer here. But a family member of hers has a guitar spa on Broad Avenue.
Okay.
And she told me about Community Lift. And I reached out to she told me about Community Lift and Edge.
So can you tell us a little bit about those for those who may not know about those organizations?
It's kind of hard for me to explain it. Community Lift, they are an organization that helps small businesses, or you don't have to be a small business, but they help you find working capital to grow your business. And they are a non-traditional lender. They lend through River City Capital. And they will help you find a space.
Wow.
Yeah, they're really great. So they've been a great starting point for me.
And I'm assuming if you go to them, you had to present a business case and just kind of out your plan. They're not just going to give you any money.
No, you have to have it together. So, if you want to, I had people that I went to for leadership and questions and mentoring, and the Tennessee Small Business Center on Bill, the Renaissance Center,
Right.
is very good. Mr. William Richardson, he was a good mentor, as well as he helped me with my business plan and my numbers, and he knew the folks over at Community Lift, so it's great how everything worked out.
Hey, Memphis Go-Getters, one key takeaway that I heard from Colby is, one, she found help. Look, don't act like you know everything.
Right.
Utilize the resources that we have in the city. And, she also found her a mentor that really just helped her develop her business plan to help her then eventually get the capital that she needed for her business. So please make sure that you take that as a key takeaway from that discussion there.
Right. Free resources.
Free. All right.
Free. 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 Free.
Well, look, you can't beat free at all. So just moving on, let me ask you this question. A lot of times as business owners, we get started and we're faced with a lot of challenges. So if you can, just tell me a story of just one of your biggest challenges or disappointments as an entrepreneur, and how were you able to overcome it and just bounce back from it?
Oh, man. The biggest challenge. It's a lot of challenges. But the biggest challenge, I would say, is finding money, revenue. If you have to have a plan. Who wants to go to a bank and get a loan and have to pay it back?
Right.
So, but that was one of the biggest challenges, was finding resources to grow your business, to startup costs, coming up with startup costs, which I did not know it took so much money to start a florist flower shop. It takes a lot of money. You wouldn't think, because you would think all you need are flowers,
right,
and water, and hard goods, and you're good. No.
Well, yeah, I see the refrigerators that you have here.
Oh yeah,
just
they
everything.
Cost lots of money. I never imagined that they cost so much.
So yeah, they normally say, your startup cost is way more than what you even put on the paper that you initially think.
Man.
New things start to pop up and you didn't even realize that you need to have that.
You have everything coming at you, everything that you have to do, advertising, marketing, inventory, supplies, just everything, insurance. And if you don't have a plan, you can't. I'm not saying I did everything right, because I've made some mistakes, initially, but you must have a plan. That's the biggest challenge, is startup costs.
So let me ask you this. You said, you made some mistakes initially. What was one mistake you said, wow, if I would have known better, I wouldn't have done that. I wouldn't do that again. Or just for, just to recommend it for those who may just be getting started, some things that they need to make sure that they watch out for.
You cannot do everything, even though you may want to. You cannot. You have to say no.
Wow.
You cannot do everything. Everybody, of course,
But you can do it better than everybody else.
Yes, I can. Honestly, I can. Check my track record. But no, you cannot do everything. You have to say no to some things that people are suggesting and recommending, and businesses, marketers, advertisers are coming at you. My uncle, who is a mentor, I was getting ready to make a big purchase. I had already invested everything because, mind you, when I was working at my job, I built up a nice portfolio. I've always been into investing in 401k, IRA, stocks, bonds. I built up a nice portfolio. Well, I have invested everything. I was talking with my uncle And I was telling him, there's this purchase. I need to make this purchase, and it will help me grow. It would just make things a lot easier.
Right.
And I'm talking to a millionaire now.
Okay.
And he said, well, how much do you have? And I told him how much I had. And he said, well, how much is it going to bring you? And I told him how much it could potentially bring me.
Right.
And he said, well, if it doesn't, what are you going to do? And you make this purchase. I said, well, I'm not thinking about that it won't.
Right.
It is. He said, well, I don't think you should do that, but I think you should do this. In other words, don't spend this. You go and get this to buy this.
Okay.
You follow me? You don't spend your immediate reserve. You go and get another loan, business loan.
Okay.
To buy this.
Oh, okay. So maintain your cash.
Maintain
your
money. Immediate, right. And maintain your money.
Okay.
But I'm like, no.
You didn't want to get into more debt.
I didn't want to do that. Well, little did I know. Little did I know that, as he said, what if it's not immediate? And lo and behold, it was not immediate. It was slow
drips.
slow, like turtles on the cartoon, just at a snail's pace. And I was just like, oh my God, what have I done?
So luckily you had the loan versus just using your cash.
Oh, well, yeah. But keep in mind, I was in the process. I had already started the process of paying back.
Okay, the loan.
One small business loan. Okay, so I did not want to go out and get another small business loan because I'm still paying this small business loan. So I just did not want to create mounds of debt because the overhead is already so much. So little did I know I should have just...
Oh, so you used the cash?
I used the cash. I used the cash.
Oh, okay. I'm following you now.
You following me? I didn't want to just put it out there like that. Uncle Arnold, I'm sorry.
You apologize. Well, he's the millionaire.
Hey, he goes to play golf every day.
So, yeah, I mean, that is something interesting to discuss. It's always that fine balance between, using your cash or getting loans. And I guess there's a whole bunch of different schools of thoughts.
Protection. Theirs is protected. Yours is.
Okay. So, yeah, I mean, wow. Honestly, I don't know. I know there's been situations where, I've invested my money, substantial amount of money, and I've tried not to in my business not take out as many loans, and so we try to be debt free. But mine is more of a service industry, so I'm not investing in a lot of capital such as what you need in your business. So, well, I think you just gotta figure out what's the right decision for your business.
Right.
So in hindsight, for you should have got. You saying you should have got the loan?
I should have went and got a larger loan.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Well, I guess they say. Now, let me ask you this. You know how they say when you go to the well, go ahead and get you go deep.
Get all you can. You better milk them dry.
So that's what you would have done differently?
That's what I would have done differently. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, wow. Thank you for sharing that experience right there. So I call this question our big shift moment in our business. So if you can, take us to the moment in time when you had experienced or learned something new that just really helped shift your business to another level.
When I found out that I was being chosen as one of the top 10 by the Greater Memphis Chamber. Wow. that for me.
Well, first of all, that's impressive. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. There are a lot of small businesses, and they chose Primere Flowers. There are a lot of big businesses in that same category. And that for me was just a wow moment. Just wow. So at that moment, when I learned about that news, I was like, oh boy. Oh boy, it's a lot of people watching now.
Right. You thought you could just fly on the radar?
For a moment, until, I get, all my ducks in a row. But that for me shifted my business to another level, because that put me in the forefront of everybody else. No, I'm not nowhere near the size of any of the other local flower shops.
Okay.
But my work is just as impressive and just as good. Quality probably even better.
All right.
So that pushed me to the next level, because at that moment it was like, okay, I'm
out
right
here now.
I'm right. That's it. You out there now. Somebody made that same comment. I said, well, you out there now. You got to do it. Do it well.
Well, yeah, as a business owner, you do eventually have to put yourself out there. And I think, unfortunately, that's what holds back a lot of people from getting started. They're afraid to be out there and to, I guess, be judged and looked at and criticized or whatnot. But I just always feel, those who are booing, they sitting on the sideline. They not in the game.
Right.
And, you're in the game, making it happen. So when you're in the game, people going to watch you.
Right. It's not a lot of us in the game, per se. It's challenging. It's hard. And it's a lot, there's a lot of negativity, criticism. You just have to fly above that.
Right. So, was there anything particular that you did that you feel that allowed you to get recognized by the Memphis Chamber of Commerce? Or are you a member of the association? I'm
a member, yes. Proud member. I love the Memphis Chamber. They do wonderful things for businesses and small businesses. They have a lot to offer. But I really don't know what I did. That was so impressive.
Just being good at your job, being good at your business. I just do what I would normally do day to day, or, in any position, and that's just giving my best, giving my all, and work hard. Okay. Well, cool. Well, once again, I think that's definitely a great recognition, just to be recognized by the Memphis Chamber of Commerce, and just for the work and efforts that you're putting into your business right now. So let me ask you this. Today, I'm pretty sure you got a lot going on in your business. And so what's that one thing that you're just most excited about today in your business?
Oh, today I had me and my team, or shall I call them my team? But they're more than a small group of women that I call my team, my friends. This past weekend, we just did the florals, all the florals for the American Cancer Society.
Oh, wow.
Imagine Ball. And it was just wonderful.
Wow.
And exciting. And, I've done events before. I've done Lausanne Cameron Payne. They had an event. Lausanne had an event, jersey signing. For Cameron Payne. And just Friday, I was listening to the radio, and he was here in the city, and I heard him on the radio. And that took me back to when I did the florals for that event. So I was like, wow. But it's just so much great things that have been going on and happening for Primere Flowers. But just this past weekend, Saturday.
Well, also, I'm pretty sure that's a huge event.
Yes.
You said the American Cancer Society?
American Cancer Society.
Wow.
Lovely people over there. They are wonderful. And everybody donate. Make a difference.
Yes.
Make a difference.
Definitely do. Well, I mean, I mean, that's amazing. I believe that's probably just a testament to the work that Primere Flowers is doing, the great product and service that you guys are putting out there to,
Yes.
Partner up with the American Cancer Society and
gotta give back.
and providing the flowers for that event. So I know, you've just been in business. I guess, how long have you said now?
This is going into my second year.
Your second year. So, a lot of times, we're thinking more short term, but from a long term perspective, what's the vision that you see for your business?
Expansion. I want to expand, not just here in Memphis.
Okay.
Maybe Jackson or Nashville. I also would like to be more involved in the community.
Okay.
More community involvement. There are a lot of people, when you think of flowers, you just think of, that's just a rose, or that's just a lily.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's not just a rose, not just a lily. Flowers, for some people, are like therapy. Flowers brightens up a room.
Mm-hmm.
Either by sight, you see something beautiful, you see a plain room, put a flower in it, it lights up.
Right, changes the environment.
Changes the environment. You walk in a room, there are flowers. You can smell them. Flowers are like therapy. You go to senior care homes, and some seniors may not have relatives that come see them on a regular basis. You take flowers, and it just makes their day. I deliver flowers today to assisted living care. The lady was just so happy that she got flowers.
Wow.
It was just. You never know the difference that it makes in people's lives.
No, I totally agree. As you know, I own a home care agency, and I went to go visit one of our clients, and I brought some flowers to her. And unbeknownst to me, she used to be a florist.
Oh, wow.
So, normally I believe she was, dealing with dementia and so forth. But when I brought the flowers in, you could just see the transformation. She had a smile, and her son that was there, he told me, like, oh, she used to be a florist. And so, I was just so happy that I was able to do that. And like you said, flowers, do change the mood, the room. And, I definitely make sure I bring some flowers home to my wife.
Hey, I got plenty. Plenty.
Good, plenty. So, yes, definitely. So, one thing, I just read an article about you.
Oh,
and he's oh, Lord. But one thing that you had stated in the article that I thought was very interesting, and I wanted to see if you could expand on it, was that your effort and I don't want to speak for you, but you mentioned in the article about focusing on millennials. And, normally they don't buy, but you're reaching out and trying to focus on that target market. If you can, just talk a little bit about that.
Trying to reach those people, young people, my generation and before, or the generation coming after me. They don't buy flowers. Or I won't say that they don't, but... a lot of flowers, when people buy flowers, they think of, it's tradition for a birthday or anniversary or something like that. But I try to reach everyone. And I try to do that through social media. Okay. Because, millennials now are involved in social media very heavily. So, while you may want to go spend, I don't know, maybe $100 on a pair of shoes that your girlfriend may or may not like, may or may fit. A few months out, she may have scuffed them up, or some things will be in the back of the closet. Right. But she will remember those flowers. And it may change your life, because if you're planning on something like proposing or it's a special dinner, 10 years from now, she'll still remember the flowers.
Right. Yes.
She may not remember the shoes, but she'll remember the flowers.
Yeah, you're right about that. I know my wife, because those flowers right there were the same flowers that we had in our wedding.
In your wedding.
Yeah, so she always said, those type of flowers. Like, oh, yeah, I remember. So help me out, because I don't remember. What's the name of them?
These are lilies, but they're a special kind of lily.
Okay.
Sarbone lilies.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And then you have these lilies. These are hybrid lilies. And then I have stargazers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, thank you. So I call this round our lightning round of questions. So you can answer them how you like. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, was there anything holding you back, you feel, from becoming an entrepreneur in the beginning?
Yes. Fear.
What were you afraid of?
Failing. Failing. Which I'm sure a lot of people are afraid of failing.
So what advice would you share of how you overcame it?
You don't know what the outcome would be until you try it. You just have to pray about it. Mm-hmm. Just pray real hard, and suck it up.
Suck it up. Yeah, I mean, people are afraid to walk through cemeteries, but you still do it. Right. Okay. Now, what is the best advice you have ever received?
Pretty much the same thing. You won't know it until you try it. But I'm a proud fan of Michael Jackson.
All right. I saw your post.
You saw my I love Michael Jackson.
So is today the anniversary?
Today is his birthday.
His birthday, okay.
Right, he would have been 58 today.
Okay, wow.
Rest his soul. I posted a picture, and it said, he quoted this, that if you're going to do it, commit yourself, know your craft, and be really involved. So it can't be just a fly-by-night.
Right. Hobby
or gig. Or if you're going to do it and you want to be in it for the long haul, you want some longevity in it, you have to commit yourself. You have to be really committed.
Oh, well, wow, that's amazing. I think a lot of times, unfortunately, we just think of Michael Jackson, of the music, the entertainer. But, he lived his whole life through the whole entertainment business.
Right.
And so, but no, that's definitely an amazing, quote and perspective from one of the greatest. So obviously he knows what he's talking about.
He does. He did. He still do.
Now, what do you read, watch, or listen to that keeps you inspired and motivated?
Oh, wow. I read a lot. I read floral I subscribe to a lot of floral magazines. One of them is through the Society of American Florists, which I'm a member. It's a floral management, and it teaches you the ins and outs. It gives good tips. So I read that. I watch videos from this wholesaler, Mayish wholesaler. They are, I forgot where they're located, but they do wonderful videos. They are a wholesale florist. And
so they create videos just to kind of help explain how to do things? They
create videos of all the different variety of flowers that they keep in stock, because different regions keep a different selection that we may not have here because of the climate and the geography. And they do videos on, how to create certain designs, education, and they do marketing. And it's just, they create some wonderful videos. So I follow them on YouTube.
And I'm sorry, what's the name of them again?
I want to say it's Mayish Wholesale Florist.
Okay.
I hope forgive me. If you ever come across this podcast, forgive me.
So Memphis Go-Getters, once again, visit memphissuccess.com. Do a search for this episode with Colby Midget, and I will have a list of several things that she has stated in our show notes. I'll have a list of some of these links and things that she's sharing on this episode. So let me ask you this. Is there a book, and I guess from a business or entrepreneurship or biography, is there any book that you would recommend for our listeners? Or just any book that inspires you?
Well, I'm kind of a strange or weird. I read different things, like when I'm going through different things in my life, I guess. I read a lot about history.
Okay.
Nelson Mandela's autobiography of Nelson Mandela really inspired me because, oh my God, he went through so much.
Right.
And boy, he could have given up, but he didn't.
Yeah.
So that was very inspirational. But other than that, no, I don't. I listen to a lot of Joel Osteen. Oh, I'm sorry, I take that back. We attend the Life Church, Fresh Start, by Pastor John Stribling.
It's fresh. It's just a fresh start.
Fresh Start.
Okay.
So that's what I'm currently reading in my spare time. It's just a little booklet, and it's inspirational, and it keeps you kind of grounded in the Word. So I read that, and I listen to Joel Osteen, Paula White, kind of follow them, Creflo Dollar, Joyce Myers.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right. Awesome. So is there a certain online website, application, or a tool that you use just to help you be more productive in what you do?
Yes. The company that hosts my website, Bloom Nation.
Okay.
They have a blog, so I read their blog, and they also have a Facebook group, Florist of Bloom Nation. So I'm in the Facebook group, and they post a lot of pointers, advertising tips, marketing tips. They're just very good, and they're all about helping you gain more profit and keeping the profits in your shop versus giving it out to 1-800-Flowers or FTD, So
let me ask you this: do you kind of consider them more like a blessing and a curse?
Yes, I do.
And I'm referring to the 1-800 and the FTDs.
Yes, I do. They're like a blessing and a curse. And it's not that I'm bashing because they also help you grow your business,
right? But
they're not cutting their fees. They're not going to do that. They will help you grow, but they will not cut their fees.
It kind of reminds me of, I always hear people talk about Walmart, how they want to get their product into Walmart, but Walmart will squeeze them down to, want your price to be so low. And so they always talk about, well, it's a blessing in the sense of, Walmart has all these millions of people in all the stores, but then it's a curse in the standpoint of, they shrink your margins in what you're doing.
I read a story about Walmart back in college.
No, you didn't.
Not a good one.
Yeah. So let me ask you this. Do you have a favorite success quote or something that you may live by that just helps you get you through the day?
Money won't create success. Money won't create success. The freedom to make it will.
Wow, I love that. Say it one more time.
Money will not create success. Just because you got money, that doesn't make you successful.
Okay.
The freedom to make it will.
The freedom to make the money makes you successful.
Makes you successful.
Wow. I love that.
Nelson Mandela.
Nelson Mandela. Okay. I would have never known. I wouldn't put two and two together on that one. Wow. No, that's definitely, impact the freedom.
The freedom.
To make the money.
Just think about it. If you're on a job, like I was, 8, 9, 10 hours a day, making whatever they pay you. And when you get your pay in 2 weeks, you're still not making any money. When you file taxes, you're still...
Right.
You still have to go to work every day. You have to put in for vacation to be off. Well, when you have the freedom to make your own money, you can kind of gauge when is the right time for you to be off. I think I may do this today. Oh, no, I think I may not do this today. Or I may just donate. Right, it's flexible. I may just make every Thursday a marketing day. Whereas you're in a job, you can't make every Thursday a marketing day.
Right. So the freedom. Wow. Okay. I definitely love that one. So let me ask you this. As I always say, this may be one of my tougher questions. But if you had $100 to spend to be a successful entrepreneur, and just assume you were starting over again, and this $100 really just represents how you would spend your time. Okay. So how would you invest this money? And there's 4 areas that you can invest it in. 1 is leadership. 2 is hustle. 3 is education. And then 4 is networking.
Well, I would not invest any money in leadership or hustle.
Okay.
I would invest 60% in education, 40% in networking.
Okay. So let me ask you this. Why no money in leadership and hustle?
Well, if you're going to be an entrepreneur, you have to be a leader.
Okay.
You can't be a backseater and be an entrepreneur. So you have to already have the mindset that the determination and the focus and the discipline has to be there. You can be an entrepreneur and take off every day or take off every week or every month, and that won't get you anywhere. You have to be determined. You have to be a leader. You cannot be anything less than a leader. Okay. You have to present yourself as a go-getter. That's the only way you're going to make it. Will there be failures? Yes. But you have to have a leadership mentality that this is my thing. I'm leading this. I'm driving this car. I'm driving this boat. And you either on or you off.
Right. No, I totally agree with that as a leader. And I think that's one thing that a lot of people may not really even take into consideration. As you start in this business, you have to drive this thing.
Right.
This is on you. And when you start to hire people, and I have several people that work for me, they look to you to be the leader. To have that vision of where you are trying to take this business to. And, I always tell my friends that, you have to be that salesperson and give that sense of confidence to your team that, hey,
right.
I'm going to carry us to the goal line. We finna win. Right. in what we do. So let me ask you this. You said 0 in leadership. You just need to have that when you step out there.
Right.
But then you said 0 on hustle.
0 on hustle.
Can you explain that?
It kind of goes back to being a leader. Hustle. Leaders hustle. When you go out into the world and people say, I'm going to get my hustle on, I got to do this, I got to do that. Well, how I look at it is, you got to have your hand in more than one thing. You have to be versatile. You have to be creative. You have to be a go-getter. You have to be a hustler.
I love the go-getter. Memphis go-getters.
You got to be I'm a hustler. I'm a hustler. You have to be a go-getter. You have to, you know, if you're doing a bridal, like if I'm doing a bridal show, and the first bridal show I did, I didn't get any bites on it. Second bridal show, I got some bites.
So hold on, what do you mean by bites? Like from the show, you're hoping to get other clients from the show,
right? Get prospects, right? I didn't get any the first bridal show. Second bridal show, okay, I saw a return on my investment. Bridal shows are not cheap. So
hold on. Now you know I'm a man, so I didn't even know what you were talking about. I thought you were talking about doing a wedding, but there's a bridal show before the wedding. Or
a bridal show is where brides go to view the vendors.
Oh, okay.
Right, to see the vendors.
Look, you know, I was not there.
You're welcome.
I just showed up to the wedding.
Right, you just do as you're told. Do as you're told.
Thanks for breaking that down for me.
But anyhow, you have to have, for example, you have to have you have to be in a mindset, a hustler mindset. For example, if I go to this gas station, or if I go to the grocery store, and I'm shopping, I'm going to have X amount of cards with me. Make sure I give out 10 cards at this store, 10 cards at the next store, or so on and so on. You have to have a hustler mindset. If, you know, I'm going to, in my field is a sales.
Right.
I'm not a salesperson. I've never been a salesperson. I don't like sales. It's just not my thing. But I have to get in, you know, I have to get in the mode to where I gotta get their business.
You gotta get out there.
It's a big hotel chain. Now I'm trying my best to get their business, and you have to be persistent. You have to be. It's like you got to be on them like white on rice. You got to sell it.
So for you to have zero on hustle, you just believe before you get started, you need to be in that mindset and that mentality that you're going to make it happen.
You got to act like it's a race, and you will not lose. You will not lose. You're going to make it to the finish line before everybody else do.
I love it. I love it. So you would invest, you said 60% in education and then 40% in networking. So can you just kind of share your perspective on just education and networking?
Education. I'm big on education, no matter what it is. There's always room to learn more. So, you know, perfect your craft. I don't know everything. I still have a lot to learn.
So what do you do to get better at being a florist?
I read. I take classes wherever I can. Now, floral design classes are expensive. Boot camp, things like that. That's that they call it. One organization calls it boot camp. They are rather expensive. There are not a lot of those type of classes here in the city. So normally you have to travel out of town to get the training you need, or you have to do a online course. But this job is not an online job. This is a hands-on job. So education, you have to know about the product, about the field, and also my sales reps at the wholesalers. They were once floor designers, and they know the product just as well, even better than me. So I rely on what they say, heavily on what they say, and read. Reading is fundamental.
Right. So from a networking standpoint, how do you network?
I just try to be in people's face.
Be in the face.
I try to attend as many networking functions as I can. I try to get out and meet people. I love meeting people. I've met some wonderful people from great organizations or just individuals, period. I've met some wonderful people. So I try to go to events and just be an all-around type person, because you cannot just cater to one group or one type of culture, or you have to be well-rounded.
Right. Well, awesome. Well, thank you, for sharing that. Now, my last question, Colby, for you is this. You're a Memphian. What does Memphis success mean to you?
Learning to love your city for what it has to offer. Leaving a mark in your community. Years ago, in my younger years, I'm still young, by the way, but I used to say, "Oh, I'm leaving here. Oh, I just wish I could leave." I don't feel that way now. I love Memphis. Not that I hated living here. It's just that I wasn't happy with what I was doing. When you find your niche and when you find ways of being a blessing to someone else.
Oh, wow. I love that.
Then it changes the whole scene. Now, when people ask me, "Oh, you never think about leaving?" Not anymore. No. My kids are grounded here. Why would I change that? This is a good city. They're in good schools. There are good organizations. It's all about you make it what you want it to be. So to me, that's what Memphis success is.
Awesome. So one last thing, any last words of advice? And if you can, tell our Memphis go-getters how they can find out more about Primere Flowers.
Okay. The few last words that I have for the audience is you have one chance. You have one chance in this place, and that's here on earth. So you got to make it count. You got to be a blessing for someone else no matter what you do. Don't look for favors, and just expect the unexpected. And your desire for success has to be greater than your desire for failure.
Oh, I love that one.
Your desire for success has to be greater than your desire for failure.
Because my bishop would say, you need to tweet that out.
You can fail, and you can fail and just give up. You can't. You have to be. It has to be embedded in your heart, and being a blessing for someone else.
Well, awesome. And how can they find out more about Primere Flowers?
Oh, I'm sorry. My website is Primere Flowers TN, like Tennessee, PrimereFlowersTN.com, and I have a second website, Best Florist Memphis. That's Best, BEST Florist Memphis.com. We are also on Facebook, Primere Flowers, and Instagram, Primere Flowers Memphis, and Pinterest. Follow us on Pinterest.
Well, Memphis Go-Getters, I really enjoyed this episode with Colby Midget of Primere Flowers. Wow, an awesome interview, and I just really appreciate the time that she has spent really dropping tons of wisdom and nuggets for our Memphis go-getters. Please visit memphissuccess.com, search for Primere Flowers, and I will have the show notes and links to some of the books and some of the information that she shared. Once again, Memphis Go-Getters, remember, sign up, become a Memphis Go-Getter so you can stay abreast of all of the latest episodes that come out, some of the latest blog posts that I share. And always remember, Memphis Go-Getters, you know what to do. Dream big, take action, and make money.
Sign up now at memphissuccess.com to become a Memphis go-getter and receive all the latest information and free gifts. Because your success is Memphis Success.